Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Billy. Pleasure to be here. So I want to welcome you on behalf of the Forum on Microbial Threats. My name is Peter Daszak. This is my first forum as chair, first workshop as chair of the Forum on Microbial Threats. So it's a great honor for me to take over as chair and in this amazing activity, which for those of you who haven't been before, you'll see what it's like today. I also want to welcome people online. So we're webcasting live, and we've got a sold-out room, adjacent room, a spillover room, and we've got a lot of people online. So I think this is going to be a really interesting and fruitful workshop today and tomorrow. I want to acknowledge the leadership of the forum. So Mary Wilson, my co-chair, who's here today, and Kent Kester, who unfortunately can't be here. He's been called away on business to Europe, but he's going to be online watching, he told me. So thanks, Kent. And also the staff involved. So we've got Cece Mundesi-Shah, Ayano, and Anne, who are in the room, and they really make the forum work. They'll be pushing things through and making sure we stick to time and we get our agendas set up and everything works out appropriately. We also have Julie Pavlin here from the Board on Global Health of the National Academies, which is really important. The Forum on Microbial Threats really is one of the leading activities of the National Academies of Medicine, always has been and hopefully always will be. Through the Board on Global Health, we've got really good support, and I appreciate what you're doing, Julie, to keep things going. And finally, I want to thank the sponsors who are listed above. The goal of this workshop is to focus on the economics of disease issues, of infectious disease issues. The Forum on Microbial Threat has been running for over 20 years and has done a lot of work on getting a sort of the very best speakers of each field we work on and trying to understand the current issues of the day and summing those up in the really interesting and insightful reports that are then published. We decided that we needed to reevaluate some of the underlying issues around infectious diseases, and one of those is the economic drivers of why we work on this. So infectious diseases cost a lot of money, as well as causing misery and death around the world. They can end up costing a huge amount of money, disproportionate sometimes to the impact of the disease. And we'll have to look at things like SARS to see how that rolls out. A disease which really affected less people than much less than a typical seasonal influenza outbreak, may have cost as much as $10 to $30 billion as an economic shock. So that's an interesting issue and one that drives a lot of the concern around emerging diseases. But there are also chronic diseases out there that are microbial threats to the US and to the world that probably have a larger economic impact that hasn't been properly calculated or investigated. And then we've got the economic drivers of control and prevention that we're going to try and get into. So I think this is going to be a really interesting topic for us to get our heads around, to get the very best speakers in the world to talk about and to try and understand where the state of this field is.